a second, he'll zero out.
I just want you to know that I
Hi, brother. Appreciate
had
that.
I went. Oh God. Well, let's move that off your face. Sorry. I could have sworn that it was disappeared from uploads, and this is just proof why I shouldn't smoke before a show because it is absolutely right there in videos.
Whoops.
I have no idea. It's been a long day.
Good evening, Catherine. How are you?
Hey, girls. How are you?
Welcome to the
Good.
show. We're good. Did you
That's
send the
good.
link to Jenny?
I did.
I bet she's sleeping.
Oh, she might be.
We may or
Well,
may.
it is 5:30 over there.
Well, and the
Yes.
last message I got from her was that she was just getting in and she was exhausted, and I bet she's sleeping. So we
Yeah,
may
she's
or may
back.
not have Jenny tonight, but we
Yeah,
welcome
with her being on investigation all weekend.
And what did you do exciting this weekend, Miss Catherine?
Yeah.
Wow. What did I do? Hang on. We went out last night. And we went to, they had a live band and then an Elvis Presley impersonation. So it was really good.
That's awesome.
So it was
And
good.
what part of Iowa are you in? Been meaning to ask you all that all week.
It's between Cedar Rapids and Iowa City. It's called Riverside.
I know right where that's at.
Yeah.
My husband over here is born and raised in Davenport, Iowa.
Okay.
Very familiar with the area.
Actually, I was
Yeah.
born.
It's
Well,
nice.
he was born.
It's
He
very
was born
quiet.
in Iowa City.
It's very family and very quiet, you know, for little kids and things like that.
Right. Yeah, because you're out there in the cornfields.
Exactly.
Not much out there but cornfields. So everybody, welcome to the show that's in our audience tonight. Thanks for joining. And tonight, as you see, we have the lovely Catherine Sorellos. And if you've been to her Facebook, you see she's got an amazing resume. I mean, it's just incredible, the things she does. So, Catherine, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, so first of all, the show's called Uncensored and Uncut. So,
Uncensored.
right?
Right. Yeah. So be yourself.
Okay, no, that's after 11:30, over 18s, we can speak freely.
Right. And usually just show her what usually runs on the bottom, just so she gets comfortable being here.
Okay.
But that's not all because we're currently we're seeing how long it takes her to get to 1,000.
Okay, right, gotcha. Well,
I'm 4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now
and that's
I
like
am
4 shows.
Sorry?
That's just like 4 shows. I'm at 74.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
So yes,
Well, I'll just be myself. Okay.
Mhm.
First, I am a psychic trance medium. I'm a parapsychologist. I've studied demonology as well. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I do past life regression. Um, I'm a crystal therapist. I do a little bit of everything. So I've got my witchy side as well. So yeah, I've been doing all that stuff since the age of 11. I see things like everybody does. We all start from a very young age, where we come in touch with our psychic abilities and our spiritual abilities because we are born with them. They're there. They're imprinted in our DNA. So I came in touch with my abilities from a very, very young age. I always felt that I was watched, or there was always someone behind me. Strange dreams. Had my first empathic encounter at the age of 11. So, and then after that, I was actually trying to find out what was going on. And in our era, right? Because I'm 50. So our parents, despite the fact that both of my parents had gifts, they never sort of spoke about it. So
right.
it was more like with blinkers on. We didn't talk about it. We didn't discuss about it. I only found out recently, 2 years ago, that my granddad from my mum's side knew how to speak to the fairies. He knew the fairy language. But
Wow.
because he was the sheriff of the village not in Athens, in a village in Greece, he will not talk about it. They will think he was crazy or moonstruck. But
Right.
so at the age of 11, I did some seminars I did psychodynamics, where we learned how to encounter our psychic abilities and envelop them and accept them. So I learned how to do remote viewing, psychokinesis, which is the same as telekinesis,
Right.
Psychometry, telepathy, the ESTA that everybody's doing right now. That's a fashion that, put the
Right.
ESTA on, which is a very old thing. I did that at the age of 11. So, and I'm still learning, guys. I'm still learning.
Yeah, there's always
Well,
more to learn.
right. Well, Jess and I talk about that all the time. That on this path, when you're enlightened or spiritual or however you want to label it, you're always learning.
Exactly.
Just like in the paranormal world, you're always
There
learning.
are no experts and there are no masters.
No, that's true. That's true. That is true. And I do paranormal investigations with RIP, Riverside, Iowa Paranormal.
Right. And I was going to ask you about them. So there's my daughters are popping up in
Hi,
there
Stephanie.
to say hello
This is my
to
friend
you.
Kim.
So yeah,
Y'all
we've
can
been telling
continue
everybody.
talking. I'm just gonna pop comments up.
Yeah, we've been telling everybody you've got to watch the show. You've got to be there with Catherine because she's so fabulous.
Thank you.
So tell us about what you're doing in Iowa, Catherine.
Well, it's my first time in America. I've never been to America, so I am Greek. I come from a Greek background. My parents were Greek. I was born and brought up in Australia, and that's where you can hear the Aussie accent at the background. So with a bit of Greek there too. So firstly I came to Iowa to meet Michelle as well, because she's my partner in crime with Daughters of Hecate. That we do
Right.
with the tours, the mysterious tours in Scotland, Ireland. We've got a new one coming up in 2023 in Greece with Michelle, myself as the Daughters of Hecate, and John Zaffis.
Well, tell us a little bit about the Daughters of Hecate.
Okay. Now, that came out when we were thinking about the name of what we will be called when we're going to be doing these tours, and we're talking about it with Michelle. I said, Daughters of Hecate. We've always been called to Hecate as the goddess. I mean, she's a Greek goddess, and I am strongly.
Is love Hecate.
I have a
She's,
bronze statuette of her.
yeah, she's a titan. First of all, she's a titan. She's the only one that was allowed by Zeus to roam the earth, to roam the underworld, to roam the sea, the skies. She's freely to walk among the human beings and the souls of the underworld, together with the god Hermes, which is Hermes or Mercury, whatever you guys want to call him in English.
Right.
They are the opposite. One's the female side, one's the male side. It's like they're linked together. He brings the souls of the dead to the gateways of Hades. I won't say hell, of Hades. And she takes them through there and puts them through the transition of going to the next life, and hands it over to Mercury or Hermes or whatever you want to call him, to start the new life.
Right.
So she's the one. She's a protector of the children. She's a protector of the animals. She's the three-faced goddess, Artemis, Dimitra, Selene. She's got all faces. The mother, the daughter, the crone. She is what. She's got all the knowledge. She represents what is magic for me.
Right.
She holds all keys to all realms. She unlocks them whenever she feels like it. She gives you the knowledge whenever she wants to. She can be nice, but she can be really
Right.
That's accurate. That's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's with respect to her.
We say this with love.
Exactly.
Right, and I have a relationship with her already, so she knows, we're just girlfriends, and I don't, you can't fool them. So,
Oh no.
So anyway, tell us about the Daughters of Hecate. What do y'all do?
So what we do is we go to, with Mysterious Tours, we go to Mysterious Tours. It does like different tours, paranormal tours all over the world. So with the Daughters of Hecate, we're going to Scotland this October, which is totally sold out. And there's another one coming at the beginning of October, and there's another one coming up in Ireland at the end of October for the to join the Puka Festival, to explore Ireland, to explore the castles, but not just bopping from one castle to another, but actually exploring the paranormal, the ghost side of it. Now, as Daughters of Hecate, what we'll do is, myself and Michelle, we both see the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, Michelle sees the dead as they've died at that point. If someone was shot in the face, she'll see it, like the blood coming out, the meat hanging off.
That's not a gift I'd want.
I know. She sees that. I feel it. If someone's shot at that point, I will feel the shot. And that's how we work together.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I see the dead as well, but she sees them in the gory side. I will see them and I will feel the pain of how they died, or if they died from a heart attack. So with taking a group of 24 people, or up to about 24 to 30 people, that's how many people can come onto these tours. They will, because everybody's got gifts, and everybody that's going to be on those tours, we will let them tap into our energy so they can see through our eyes what we see.
Oh, wow.
And that's validation for us as psychic mediums, because we both are psychic mediums. I mean, we're going to do some paranormal investigations as well, but that's validation for us that what we're seeing is real. And we don't get the history of the place. We don't want to, or whatever's going on in that place, the haunted place at all. We want to go there raw and feel it from the beginning and actually tell our side of the story.
Right, right. Well, that's very cool. I love that, and I want to know more about that.
Mhm.
Get in
I
on
want to jump in and say, Jessie, Terry's other daughter, wants you to know that your voice is so calming and she could listen to you talk all day.
Thank you. thank you.
And then I had somebody who's under Skeleton Key asked if you can astral project.
Everybody can astral project. You can
It takes
astral project.
practice.
Yeah, it does take practice. Everybody unconsciously or subconsciously, whatever you want to put it, we astral travel every night. We come out of our bodies every night. That's why when we come back into our bodies, sometimes you might feel tired
Hmm.
or exhausted, and you think, my God, I slept at 8 hours. How the hell am I feeling so exhausted? It's because you've been astral traveling all night. And a lot of people think, oh my God, and if I disappear or if I get lost, no, there is a little silver line that connects your astral body with your body. So as soon as your astral body is in danger, that gets pulled back.
It's like a safety line when you
Exactly.
are diving, when you're diving in caves, or when you're doing or when you're going caving.
It's the
So,
anchor. It's the anchor. Yeah,
anchor.
that's your anchor. So sometimes when we get scared, we come back and we come back the wrong way that we came out, and the impact is so strong, and that's why sometimes we might feel that we sinking into our bed, or that our chest hurts or our body hurts because the impact of coming back was really, really strong. So I learned, and you can learn, and anybody can learn to do it consciously. I had a teacher, Taoist teacher, at the age of 28, and he taught me, he goes, Catherine, if you can sit at a bus stop and get in and out of your body, cut out every noise and get in and out of your body, only for seconds, you've mastered of doing consciously the astral traveling. And I've gotten to that point where I can go boom, boom, right in. I've learned, even it's a habit. If I'm reading or if I'm doing something else, I can cut out every noise that's happening around me. And
My husband gets so annoyed with me when that happens because he'll have to holler my name quite a bit.
No, that's good. If you're able to do that, you can do a lot of things. You can do remote viewing, you can do your astral traveling, you can do your psychometry. At that point, you're cutting off everything that's in the physical realm around you.
And I have
Very
found
cool.
myself that even if you're not doing it consciously, you're probably already doing it
Oh, yeah.
subconsciously.
Oh, yeah.
That feeling of, you wake up to that feeling of falling.
Mm-hmm.
That was what gave me my hint. So.
Yeah, you're coming back, or you feel like you're sinking in the bed all of a sudden. Can the astral line break? It's rare. It is rare. It has happened. When all of a sudden you hear, oh my God, somebody died from a heart attack in their sleep, and they were a healthy person. Your astral line has broken.
When they fall into a coma with no apparent cause.
Exactly.
Something
has interfered and has broken it. Right. It's rare, but it happens. Oh, Sam, I love everything. I don't have anything favorite. I love everything I do. It's not just a hobby. It's my life. I don't get, except for my readings that I do and my psychic readings and my mediumship readings, and maybe my Reiki or my clinical hypnotherapy, from everything else that I do and educating the public, I don't get paid for it. I love it. I do it with a passion.
Right.
To teach, to give out, just the information that I know.
Right. So, my daughter, if you'll pop that comment back up there, when you were talking about the line heartbreaking. That probably explains a lot, but I'm going to flip now to that's what I seen you on another show. Actually, you
Mm.
were with Jess. She was co-hosting that night as well. And so I was watching to support her, you know, my partner in crime. She's my partner in crime. You know, we do this together. We paranormal together. We Skeleton Key Network
We
together.
do
We
about
help
it,
with
just about
the
everything together.
I'm gonna get Rosie's network wrong. It's the Temple of the Rising Phoenix, right?
Just know thee. It's Temple of Rising Phoenix.
Temple of Rising Phoenix. So, you know, we're helping our friends, you know, grow. We got a lot of stuff going on too. And same reason, you know, we're passionate about it. We just want to help people. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna flip back to what caught my attention about you is you were talking about the dead and communicating with the dead. And you know, you had given some of the people, I think, in the audience a chance. So my daughter, my best friend Elizabeth, who passed, my daughter was also very close to her, and this has been a heartbreak for a long time for her. Is there anything that you could tell her to help her with that?
Okay. All right. So from what okay, I know she's very emotional at the moment. She's very, very emotional at the
So is
moment.
Terry. I can hear it
I
in her
know. And
voice.
whatever I say, girls, it's gonna really get to you at the moment.
So she
So
she can't promise no crying, is what she's trying to tell you.
No, we'll
yeah.
do it later, Jesse.
So she, from what you're telling me,
Okay.
because I can't hear you properly because you're breaking up, Terry. She was your
Um,
best friend or Jess's best friend?
Both. She was Terry's best friend,
my
but she was also very close to Jesse.
So she was like a mother to Jesse, from what I've gathered and what I'm feeling.
sorry.
She's plugged in the headphones finally.
Good.
She said so she was
Well,
kind of like a
my
second mother to
husband,
Jesse, was she?
yes,
She was like
yes,
a mother to Jesse, like a
most
second mom.
definitely.
Yep. And I said it. I just
Uh
said
huh.
it now.
Hmm.
Yep.
She's just like she was like a second mom.
Yeah, but yeah.
Thanks for verifying that for me, Jess. She wanted to go, guys. She wanted to be
Mm,
free.
that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Well, yeah, but in light of what was happening in her life at that moment,
Yep. In light of what was
you know,
happening in her life,
I
she
can
was
understand
tired.
that.
You don't understand it?
She said she can.
Okay. All right.
I said I can. Yeah.
Okay, in like of she was it wasn't just at that moment of what was happening in her life. It was from all the things that she had gone through from her childhood. Because nothing was easy for her, ever.
And that makes sense, right?
And she just got to the point, Terry, where she was tired. And she just said, that's it. And she's happy where she is at the moment.
Yeah,
She's
I
not in
believe
she's
it.
free. That's what she's saying. She's I'm free.
Right. I believe she got hung up here for a while because of her family members. And for me, that's kind of when I learned may have an ability to help people cross over because I did a little thing, you know, with her one night and basically just sat down at the kitchen table with her and, and you know, talked to her. And they called me from her home the next day and said, you know, it's different here. It's lighter.
She's
And
fine.
Jessie had a dream after that she was free.
Yep. That's what she's actually Jessie's quoting the words that Elizabeth is telling me right now that she is free. I'm
So,
free.
and another interesting thing that we
Oh,
I lost her.
she muted herself by accident. Oh, here's the thing. This is why we say we're the queens of technical issues, because she
I'm
the only
sorry,
thing
I
that
had to
comes there.
cough. No, I'm back.
Oh,
I'm muted so I
Cough.
wouldn't cough in y'all's ear. I'm so,
okay.
I'm battling the crud. Am I breaking up now? Can I?
Yeah.
Oh,
Where'd you go?
she disappeared. Well, we'll look at the some of the comments. I had starred a couple that came in. Joshua wanted to know how you were enjoying the States.
I'm loving it. I love the States.
And can you hear me now?
I've been to I've been to Illinois. I've been to Indianapolis. Well, there's a few other places we're going to go to with RIP. We've got the X-Con coming up at the YMCA. And in June the 11th with Riverside, Iowa, we've got to do the Monroe House. So that's going to be a challenge.
I think it will. That'll be it.
That will be cool.
Yeah.
So, but back to crossing over, Catherine. That's, of course, another hot topic for a lot of people. And on the other show I'd seen you on, you had talked about the time period after someone dies.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, kind of talk about that and tell people what you believe it is, or what you know it is? Or
Okay. In every religion, if you look at every book, every Bible, the Quran, the Bible, even the Buddhists, they all say that it takes 50 days for the transition. 50 days.
Very interesting.
To go to the other side. It takes 50 days for the woman. In Greek, we call it lechona, which means it takes, in Greece, apparently, when you have a baby, based on the Greek Orthodox Church and the Greek Orthodox religion, or the Orthodox religion, whatever you want to call it, a woman that's had a baby, because she's clean and pure of giving life, because the Holy Grail is what we have inside us.
Right.
So giving life, they say that a woman should stay 40 days in the house, and on the 50th day to get a blessing from the priest or from the church, to be able to go outside, to the world, to the people, to the energies that might be around. So that's just exactly the same thing with the soul. It leaves the body, so it needs to transit for 40 to 50 days to another realm. So it needs to be, so it leaves its womb, it leaves its vessel, it leaves its body that's been protecting it. So it's out there.
Right.
So to be able to cross over, it takes 50 days. Why? To me, because they need to, sometimes they don't understand that they've died. Sometimes they want to stay with their loved ones around, or visit the places that they've been. Sometimes it's our own fault for mourning them and crying and keeping them back and not letting them go.
Right.
So that's why it takes 40, for me, takes, from what I know too, and based on religion too, it takes 40 days for the soul to be free of the physical world, to cut the cords, to cut those cords with the physical world.
Right.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes because of other circumstances, they stay back, and slowly they become an earthbound spirit, because after 3 months, a soul starts to have memory loss and starts not remembering why they're here. That's why you get a lot of spirits in haunted places that repeat the same pattern over and over and over again, because they've forgotten why they're here, why they're stuck here.
Right, like they're just like a time warper, so just repeating the same thing.
I always call them echoes.
Right.
Because they're just echoing a specific event.
Right. That's very interesting. I think and I feel like I'm echoing back on y'all. I'm sorry if it is.
No, You're
I
fine.
guess it's just in my own ear it's doing it. Um, that is, you know, now the days and all. I had no idea. I just had a feeling that people would get not so nice after you leave them stuck here. That
Yep.
when after they're gone, that's not their purpose anymore to be here. It's their purpose to move on. And so I do believe in the paranormal. That's why we deal with some of these angry spirits.
Hmm.
They get hung up, and who knows how long they've been hung up in a location.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they do cross over, because I read a comment that someone said that after 100 days they become God. No, they don't become God. You go through stages. There's 7 stages when you cross the realms. There's seven stages. You can either stay as in the Akashic pools where you or the Akashic library where you can see your past lives and what you've done. You can stay there as long as you like. You can either decide to come back into the next life. To come to our next life, the people that you've lived with in this life, they'll need to do their circle for you to come back. You can't be born 10 years later. And it's happened, but you can't be born 10 years later. Or you become a spirit, you become a guide. If you don't want to do any of that, then you start ascending.
Right.
And then there's the stages where you go with the angels, the archangels, or the light beings, the celestial beings. They're all the same to me.
Right.
Humans have just given them different names.
Right.
And then you go to your higher self, where your higher self is the first soul of you that's ever been born. So you go there with the rest of your soul group that's there, and your higher self is like a central processing unit. So if you decide to go there, you download every information that you've learned from each life that you've lived. So
Right.
that's why I say that our psychic abilities, our spiritual abilities, deja vu. When you go to places and you meet people, and you go, Jesus, I know that person. I've seen this person. I know this place, and I've lived this place before. That's because, despite the fact that you download all the information of each life that you've lived, and you do a little format, your soul does a format.
Right.
When you do a format on a computer, fragments do stay on. So nothing disappears. So that's what's written in our DNA when we come back into the next life. The little
Right.
fragments that have left from our previous life. Because out there somewhere in this world, 100 years, 150, 200 years, there's another body that had a soul in it.
Right. Right.
Bones are buried somewhere out there. That DNA is somewhere buried out there. So the link continues on and on and on.
Right. Right. So, and I'll say, that this isn't one of these interesting facts about Catherine. I was just trying to book her on my show, and she comes back with this reading on me that just blows me away. I was like emotional all day. Yeah, because of course it made sense.
And
And to
it
have
was so validating too.
so validating, well, it was a huge validation when I'd seen you on the show, because the host of that show, I'd actually investigated his home and things that you said, and I actually pulled my report the other day. Catherine, it was like you were reading my report, really. So
It
that
really
was
was.
huge. It was huge. And then, for on your reading, and you telling me, that about places like New Orleans. That's like my favorite place in the world to be. And of course, you and I talked a little bit more in depth about maybe why, I was
Yep.
there. So I got confirmation that yes, I'm talking to my daughter, Jessica Dawn. I did live in New Orleans. My daughters think I'm crazy all the time when I tell them things, and I get that, crazy mom, look. Um, I told him last night, y'all watch the show tomorrow night and you might have a little bit more faith in me.
Well, and I will actually jump in and say that when I was on the show, we were interviewing her. I had only gotten in the studio about 10 minutes before we started. I had never met her before and never talked to her. And there have been 3 deaths on the property where I live.
Oh
One
yeah,
was
I remember
very
that.
recently. And she called them all. And one of the deaths was something I had not even shared with anybody. So it couldn't have been shared. So it was just chills, full body chills.
Right. And that's, like I said, I was watching Jess, watching the show to support Jess. And I was like, when you did that, I was already, okay, well, I'm going to stick around and watch this whole show.
Yep.
And so then, watching the whole 2 hours, it was, I was hooked and I was like, I've got to meet this woman. There's something about her. And they're asking now if you do readings. Do you do personal readings?
I do readings. I do personal. I'm not going to do any here online
Right.
because this is not a show that I am here to do
Right.
personal readings.
Yeah, no, and we don't want to put you on the spot like that, but I think they're just asking.
Yeah, I do personal because there's a Greek saying. Oh, first of all, I would like to say to Irene Takura, I respect your religions and your beliefs, and namaste. So they've got different beliefs, and I respect that. Now, I do readings. They can find me on my Facebook page as Catherine Cyrillos, Oracle Whispers by Catherine Cyrillos. So
I'm sure she has all the information there where y'all can book it, and there you go. Yeah.
And she can find me as they can find me on as Catherine Cyrillos on my Facebook profile. And because there's a Greek saying that says "ta enδίκω μη ενδύμω," and so I'm saying it in Greek, which means whatever goes on in your life and in your house should not be out in the public.
This is true.
Oh.
So
that's very, very interesting.
Thank you.
Just we'll have to talk about that later, because I think there's been a reason, that we really haven't done a lot, because we get asked a lot, and sometimes we'll break out the tarot cards, the pendulum, but we just don't do that all. It's going to be just a quick, yes or no
3-card pull or something quick. Yeah,
3, because, and I guess maybe that's the reason why, because you don't want to air your dirty laundry live.
Exactly. That is the answer. That's it.
I mean, when I did a reading for Sam, who's in the chat, and one of the very first that I only put a little bit. It was not even real super deep of a reading, and she still has decided she can never let me read her again.
Yeah, well, you're very powerful. You girls, I've told you, I did a reading on, like a quick reading on Terry, and it's like boom, 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 boom. But you girls are meant to be together. You are meant to be in the same path.
And
you're walking the same path.
Mm-hmm.
You balance each other.
We've been drawn. Yeah, we've been drawn.
Because it's funny, because how I met her is hilarious. Her daughters grew up with my husband. So
okay.
I did not know her until then. That was the first time that I met her, and she and I, and I'm friends with both of her daughters too. I've never been great with people my own age. And we have just become best friends, and now we do everything together.
Yeah. She's the mother, you're the daughter. When it comes to the magic.
Yeah. No, it was just, it always amused me.
It started that I needed someone to go on an emergency investigation.
Oh.
We lost her again.
Oh, yes, we did. Terry always has tech issues. It's one of our trademarks.
Okay.
But yeah, the way we first met, here she is. Okay, maybe.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why I keep my. I can hear y'all, but y'all can't hear me. So I was asking a question and totally lost my train of thought there. Um,
You were saying it
oh no,
started with.
yeah, it was started with the emergency paranormal thing. I needed someone to go with me, and my daughter said, "Well, you know, Jess Beauregard wants to go," and that was like maybe a month or two after my team started, and she's been with me ever since.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm trying to read some of the comments here too.
Yes. Every time her cards suck.
Sam,
Oh,
you know, with Sam, you don't even really have to have the cards to, you know, just to, that girl needs meditation. She needs meditation. She needs to calm down. Hey, Robin.
hey,
Everybody
Robin.
in the comments. I'm not ignoring y'all really. Of course, just in depth conversation here with Miss Catherine. So we do see y'all and acknowledge you. Don't think we're
I feel like
ignoring
this
you.
one relates to what she was saying about us being meant to be together.
Exactly. See,
Past
let me
lives.
tell you, Sam, let me tell you something about Jess and Terry. They don't do love notes. Doof, it's straight.
It really
Yep.
is. It really is. Well, I mean, I think you got to be that way.
Yeah.
And my husband would be upset that I had to plug in my headphones and he couldn't hear that part. Um, because he was even interested enough to sit in here and watch tonight. So, and I'm gonna have to tell him he sleeps horribly. Every day he wakes up, he's like, I'm so tired. We're gonna have to work on some grounding techniques for him, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe he won't be out there wandering around while he's sleeping.
Okay.
You
Grounding
know,
techniques.
actually get some rest.
All you need
I
to
wonder
do
what
is
the hell you're doing out in the universe.
No, Lord.
I never remember.
I think that's him talking
you gotta
over there.
keep
Go
them
ahead.
down there.
Mm. Yep. He's a wanderer. Mm.
Definitely, definitely. I can see that about his soul being restless when he's in bed. Now, does anybody in the uh, audience have any questions? Because we are, what time is it? Oh, we've already
Mm.
made it past. Oh, wait a minute.
Speaking of which,
We've changed our
We're on to
time,
one.
so we still. Yeah, I don't even know what time it is. Where we at? Well, you're probably right, Stevie. Um, my dog Stephanie is AKA Stevie.
okay.
And that's true too. Looking for Crystal Burgers at Krispy Kremes. So yeah. Does anyone out there have any questions? My husband over here has a question. What's your
Go ahead and
question?
ask it for me. I hear a lot of psychics and a lot of mediums when they do
Thank you,
either
Sam.
tarot readings or psychic readings to people when they feel or learn the truth. Like you have a problem telling the client or person
Right.
the whole truth. Does she experience that? Is she able to tell them exactly what
Can you
she's
hear my
supposed to
husband in
hear?
the background, Catherine?
I only heard a bit of it. Something about telling when I do a reading, like a psychic reading or
I
medium
think he's
reading.
talking about when we're getting a lot of tough or negative things, do we find it hard to tell the client the whole truth?
Not anymore. I
Hey,
No.
used to.
she said
And
not anymore. She used
yeah,
to. I struggle with
my
that.
no, my strategy is from the beginning when I go and I say, listen, in my readings, I'll get good stuff, I get bad stuff, I get the dead, I get the works. That's what I tell my clients.
Right.
If I see bad stuff, do you want me to tell you? And they're like, yes. Some people
Oh,
say no. So if they say yes, I say it straight. Yep.
Hey y'all. Wound Man there. Is a part of they're part of our team. And they usually are like not in bed. They don't do the internet often. but even they stayed up
Hmm.
to see
Just
you
to see
tonight.
you.
So we want to not just to
I
see
want to
you. So we
know.
want to
Sorry,
acknowledge
Gilson.
that they're out there.
Okay, sorry to
No,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead.
Wound man, where did you get thalassa from? And I want you to tell me the meaning of thalassa
Uh-oh. It's a test.
because it's a Greek word.
Oh, girl, she done put you on the
You will be
spot.
graded at the end of the
Well, now
show.
I will tell you, right, Thalassa is someone that I would love for you to meet sometime. You would just
Absolutely.
That is
absolutely, you and her would connect.
the
Hmm.
word thalassa, or the way you're pronouncing it, is a Greek word. It means the sea.
That fits.
I would bet that she probably knows that. Um, you know that we had talked about the witchcraft project that I had in my class Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this was a huge project, and the Lhasa actually, this was we're at this level. We're doing what we want to work on, and this was her project that she wanted to
Okay.
do.
Apparently, it was a drunk D&D session, but she does know what it means. Uh, I love it when the stories turn out to be that.
Okay. All right. You're
And
killing me here.
Thalassa, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a plug out here. Speaking of that comment right there, Thalassa, Wound Man, yeah, we got to tell y'all, Jess and Rosie Page, the lovely Rosie Page, and the wonderful Miss Jenny Sullivan from It's Emerald Isle Paranormal. Jess, what is
Yes.
it?
Yes.
It's just Emerald Isle Paranormal. I thought there was
I
something
believe
else on
so,
there.
yes.
Okay. And which is also a one. Jenny's a great friend of Catherine's. So the four of us, Jenny, myself, Jess, and Rosie, are going to be doing a ironic confession show starting. Is it Wednesday or Thursday, Jess?
Thursday, I think.
So Thursday, um, we're starting this show. So, Wound Man, I'm sure that y'all over there in that side of town have got some kind of ironic confession you could send in. There
We'll
will
send you
be,
the link.
we'll send you the link. There will be penance, you'll have to do for your confession. We've got some, you're not going to be doing Hail Marys and stuff like that. Y'all that watch us know us. You
Oh, but the
know,
form
we're
does
not
start
going to.
out. The form does start out, "Forgive me, ladies, for I have sinned." I'm not even gonna lie.
so so we want y'all to tune into that, send in your confessions. Maybe we get Miss Catherine to join us there one night on that panel where we'll be dishing out some penances on some people. um Joshua, I'm
Joshua,
just
he's burning inside him. I can feel him right now. He's burning for an answer. Delay your international flight until June. It's not the right time right now.
oh
Does that make?
Sam says you didn't do anything. I'm not believing that, Sam. And yeah, Joshua, if you'll give her answer there, does that make sense to her? Are you planning on going somewhere? And so
Not Sam.
what Catherine is the next big, what are you doing? What's your next upcoming event?
With Riverside, Iowa Paranormal at the YMCA in Illinois.
Rock Island, Illinois. Let me
Rock
go ahead.
Island.
I
Yep.
remember, yeah, because we used to live right across the bridge from that.
So there's with the XCon, we've got a big event on the 13th of May. So That's gonna be awesome.
And for that, you're actually doing uh tours for the public or something like that, aren't you? Are
Yep,
y'all
we do
opening it
events.
up?
We do events through. You can see our events through Thriller Events.
Okay,
Um,
so it is online. It'll be
yep, it is through. You can find it in our page, which is Riverside, Iowa Paranormal. Jess has got that,
I was
and
gonna say I'm
through
sure she's about to pull
and
that up
all our
plug.
all our events are Michelle is owes Thriller Events, so all the events go onto Thriller Events, where you can actually, guys, you can put your events up there. Anybody can put their events up there, and it's a process. It's a platform where you can, and then we just take it from Thriller Events, because I work with Michelle on that too. I'm an
Right.
executive director, so I blast it out to all these events and conventions and things like that. So if you go into Thriller Events, you'll see that.
Robin is asking what are your dates for Rock Island again, because she's right there in your area.
Okay, Rock Island is on the 13th of May. I think everything's sold out, but I will let you know, Jess. I will let you know. I will let you know. I think everything's sold out. All the tickets have been
You
sold
could
out.
let us know, and
And then,
we'll get with her.
yeah. And then there's a few. I don't know if I'm gonna take part in those, if we're gonna go with Michelle, because Michelle, RIP, Michelle has got chapters all over the USA.
Right.
So there's another two coming up. With the county jail in Ericsville, I can't remember the name. The county jail in Illinois.
The
Help me
county
out
jail.
here.
What? A
Or
county
Indiana. Sorry.
Indiana.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll have to ask Mr. the Fabulous Jeremy York about a county jail in Indiana.
And Spoke Easy, the other one that's in Indiana. There's two big events coming up, but you can find them on the RIP page and on Thriller Events. So the ones that I'm going to is the one in the YMCA at the Rock Island, and the other one is at the Monroe House with Michelle. So the other one are going. The other ones are in Indiana, so that's the Indiana chapter. But I don't know if we're going to be going into that.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Now we've had people ask, and I already know the answer to this, but I'll let you decide if you want. They're asking, how long are you in the United States for, Catherine?
Well, fingers crossed, I'll be able to stay for a long time.
She's considering becoming one of us, y'all. You heard it right here.
So I'm going to be a Greek Aussie American.
And we
That sounds
kind of
like a
joked
bad
about
joke.
that. She's gonna be a Gaia.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it fits right in over here.
Right. There you go. We have Wound Man has popped up there.
Do you have a favorite story from your work you enjoy sharing? Or if that's too on the spot, do you have any reading recommendations for the viewers?
Favorite story in the paranormal field of an encounter? Is that what?
I
I
think in
think
general, in all your
in general, yeah.
various.
Okay. A very intense story, and I think, Jess, you heard it with the genie that I encountered.
Mm-hmm.
I
It was
didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that one. Okay,
Mm-mm.
this is going back. They're little mean little B dot.
Oh, you could say bitches.
Mean bastards.
You could say it, yeah.
Yeah.
Bastards, bitches, fuckers. We say
Oh,
it
there
all
we
here.
go. I was about to say, I haven't had a single fuck from you tonight.
Okay.
Well, I gotta
Sounds
give at
horrible.
least one single fuck. Now I'm giving you two.
I just.
I do that to her all the time.
There.
She says it as I change it.
So this is going back in 2000 and 17 or 18, I can't, yeah, about that time. We had gone to a private investigation. I was in Greece and I was investigating with a team over there, and we'd gone to an investigation. This lady, she had called other teams in. She wasn't actually wanting to know what was going on in her home. She wanted someone that can read what was underneath in her garden, and if I can undo the curse of the genie. So we went to her house. I told her, I'm through the EVPs. I said to her, I'm seeing Turkish in here. I'm seeing English. I'm seeing Greeks. I mean, there's a lot of spirit that's just going through, in and out, in and out. Even on the EVPs, we got spirit talking to us in English, in Greek, in Turkish, because spirits can speak all languages.
Right. Well, and watching Jenny's live the other night, we were hearing some languages coming through, and I was like, my husband said that sounds German, and then I heard something, sounded like Dutch, and then it made me think, my God, some of the times we hear stuff and we go, that sounds like, and obviously it would be another language.
Of course. I mean, don't forget, even in America, you had the French, you had the English, you had the Irish, you had immigrants that came in, like Italians, Spanish, Greek,
We're
German.
a melting pot.
Multicultural. Of course, they're going to speak different languages. I mean, I'm talking about here, I was talking to the spirit in Greek, and then we'll turn it to English, and it will answer to me in Turkish. Like it understood what I was saying. We translated it later on, and it was giving us exactly the same answer that I was asking it for. Anyway, this lady in her back garden, she had, I would say, like a little pot of gold, Turkish pounds, ancient Turkish pounds, because don't forget, Greece was under the Turkish Empire for 480 years. So the Turks roamed a lot of places in Greece and held a lot of the houses, like the people hostage, and held the houses as their own for many, many years that they were there. So she wanted us, apparently her husband, other investigators and other people that were searching. She even brought people that were searching for gold with different machines. Those metal detectors, right? So
Right.
things will go off at the backyard. So she decided to get her husband to dig up the backyard. As soon as he dug up the backyard, green smoke came out. He went all green, like coppery green, died from a heart attack on the spot. As soon as that happened, in that same year, every male in the family died except for her son. So in other words, she wanted the gold. She wanted to protect her son, so someone to break the curse and protect her son at the same time, but get the gold.
Oh.
So as soon as we went to the house, I went and sat on top of the place where I was feeling it. I said, it's down here and it's deep. And 5 meters down there, there's ancient Greek relics that if you touch, you're not allowed to. You will go to jail. And she goes, I don't want those. Because I could see like a long cave or like tunnels that would go from one place to another. I could feel it. I could see it as in like remote viewing, and I could actually see the relics. And she goes, I don't want those. I just want whatever's down on that belongs to the house. I said, that does not belong to you. That's been tied with a genie, with a djinn. That's got a curse in it that whoever opens that box will die. Plus the radiation that gold brings, because once you find gold, because it's been under there for so many years, it's got its own radiation, and there's different ways of washing the gold afterwards so you don't get the radiation. You don't get mixed up with that shit. I'm sorry if you don't know how to use it,
Right.
especially with undoing a curse that's been put up there with, because don't forget the jinns. I'm not always saying the genie in the bottle. They were supposed to be the guardians. They guarded King Solomon's gold and King Solomon's caves, and that's why he called them, to get all the gold from all over the world, and that's why he trapped them in bottles. He did trap them in copper bottles. So, and threw them under the church, where the Jerusalem church. Anyway, that's another story.
Well, I was getting very interested in that because
I was into
I
it.
mean,
And that's where
yeah.
you get your the 72 demons.
Well, so I have, you know, my daughter Jessie, that's in the comment, we believe seeing a fairy, a real live fairy.
Genies are real. Genies, and fairies are real. And
Well,
genies,
and that's
Oh yes, I work.
she grew up and
I
thought
do
she
work
was
with the fae.
crazy.
So
they're real.
Jessie
Oh,
grew
yeah.
up thinking she was crazy because she seen that fairy. She
No,
thought it
it's
was the
real.
tooth fairy when she was, I guess she was probably about 7. And she always had the same story, and I never doubted her because the kid was real in her conviction when she said it. So I knew she seen something. Now, obviously, we knew that it was not the tooth fairy,
No,
but
exactly.
that's what she thought, it was the tooth fairy. And my daughter, I've told her for several years now, you have gifts. You just need to
Exactly.
quit blocking them because she's freaking seen a fairy.
I'll get
Not
I'll get to Jesse in a minute, because I can see that Sam and the Wound Men were getting really into the story. So
right,
yes,
yeah.
Wound
Tell us
Men,
about that.
that's the dragons. The genies are in other cultures, the dragons that guard. That's why you see a lot of saints killing the dragon, killing the genie. Saint George, he kills the dragon.
Oh,
Ah.
They're all connected. So she was really like, can't you? She goes to me, I said, to undo the curse, I need to do the Quran. I need to read it through the Quran. Because all books, the Quran, the Bible, have got magical, along the lines and the sentences, there's
right,
magical spells in them. We all know that.
right. Like the
So
Psalms in the King James.
exactly.
Right,
That's the
right.
reason why the songs of King David, being Solomon's father, wrote those psalms for his son. So when he got and was doing things like that, invoking the demons and invoking the angels, to be protected and to do their biddings as well, the songs of King David would protect King Solomon.
Right.
So I wasn't going to do something like that. She begged me and things like that. So I was going, no. She goes, and protect my son. I said, that gold does not belong to you. We actually brought another group that did the gold digging and things like that. They had different machines that really went into depth. We did see we did see the 5 meters down in the depth with the ancient Greek relics. Anyway, I said, I'm not going to help you, Helen. Her name was Eleni. So I got home, and then she kept on ringing me, and she goes, please, and I've got no money, and they're going to take my house away and things like that. So me being soft-hearted, I said, okay, I'll do it. I'll help you. So I went back to the house, trying to help her, not trying to help her. I didn't do anything. We just spoke about it. Then I got home. That night, guys, that I got home, that is the most, I can still feel it right now. The most eerie feeling, I got so scared that night. I mean, everybody gets scared, but that was the worst thing that really scared me. I felt this presence because I got home at 4:00 in the morning. So
I have goosebumps.
I laid on the couch, girls, and I was watching the TV. This TV started going on and off, on and off, on and off, and I'm going, okay, there's something here. There's something fucking here in the house, okay? So I could feel this thing in the back of in my kitchen sitting. I could actually feel it sitting on my table, on the chair, and just looking at me. And I have never felt something pierce my soul so much in my life. And then this voice comes out, and I'm sorry, I've got goosebumps.
So do
Same,
we.
I did too. I did this.
So does
Yes.
Sam.
And it says, if you go back and help her, you and your whole family will be done.
Oh, and
Oh
I can feel your
I can
pain.
feel the yep.
I can feel the,
And like,
and you were like, "Fuck that!
no. Yep, I was.
You're on your own, lady."
Exactly. I don't know what she did. I have no idea what she did. So I left
Yeah,
it at that. That was the most, it pierced my soul, my being, my whole body. I've never felt such a strong energy in my life. I mean, I've been to many haunted places, but what I felt that night, never.
And there are just some things you do not question.
You don't. You
right,
don't.
right. I had to go nothing like that, but someone had brought. I think it was actually Wound Man, that had brought up the Graceland. And
Oh
when
God.
we say Graceland, we are not talking about Memphis. We're talking about a house my parents bought,
Yeah,
and
it's an inside joke.
it was a haunted house. And when we first walked in, I was like, my God, we're gonna find Elvis here, and we actually did, a doll.
A little doll.
And,
The powder
uh,
blue carpets.
and the velvet drapes, and I mean blue velvet drape. It looked like Elvis designed that fucker in the 70s. So,
Well, we've
um,
had some experiences.
Wound Man, for example, is my tech guy. He built my website. He is what he is. I don't want to say atheist. He's just the kind of guy he's got to see it to believe it, And until he sees it, believe he ain't gonna believe it. So we were just, kind of, I'd say clowning around, but we were clowning around one night. My parents' house is just down the road. It's empty. And while we were cleaning it out, we discovered there was paranormal activity. We're on COVID lockdown. What is a team going to do when you're on COVID lockdown? You got a haunted house at your access. You go investigate. So we're,
Exactly.
right, So we're over there, and Matthew, well, he had some experiences that made him a believer in the
He
paranormal.
got
Mm,
grabbed, full on
Yeah.
grabbed.
wow.
Right, right. So,
And he
but in
ripped the
that,
shelf off the wall too.
yeah, and in that same house, I had something come over me that, like, it sucked the air out of the room. It
Mm,
was like if I didn't get out in that moment, I would die.
yeah.
But I walked outside, shook
And
it
she
off, and
walked right outside.
walked right outside, shook it off, but went back in because I have learned with this house, you ain't pushing me around. Plus, it's my parents' house, so I'm gonna have to deal with it. Um, but it is weird when you have those, and that for people that have never had those moments,
Yeah.
that don't know. For us as investigators, or I don't claim any kind of mediumship or anything
No.
like that, but you just get those feelings, and it's you just know that there's something beyond us. And I never thought about evil fucking fairy, or genies now. You know, I'm 55. I dream of Genie, Barbara Eden. And yes, you know, never did I think of, well, Aladdin and the 40 Thieves and all that crap. I don't mean to say crap, all that crap, but you hear about that, you listen to that, but you really doesn't absorb that. Holy shit, there's evil fucking genies
Oh,
living
yeah.
around, guarding some shit. No wonder people are hexed
And this
and
is the
cursed.
house. This is the house I actually told you about on the other show
Yeah.
that we decided to take the tarot cards to and things.
Oh, you did.
And I think we figured out. I think you
Yeah.
helped us figure it out that it is a vortex
Yes.
Or yeah, a portal of some kind. Yeah. So
because it
yeah,
feels like
and
you're popping through to a different reality when you leave.
yeah, yeah, and that was another confirmation that you'd given Jess and I that night. We
Mm-hmm.
were all like, That's it. And I even had called Wound Man and told them over there, holy crap, it is what we think it is.
Exactly. And Jesse, well, some people say that they can interact with humans and get married. And if we're gonna really talk about this Wound Man, that's another show on its own.
How about this, Wound Man? We'll maybe get y'all can at least come in audio, and we'll get Catherine on another, maybe an earlier show. And maybe we'll just do a show about genies and fairies and things like that.
What I want to say on this, like all those beings, the genies, the fairies, all these deities that once upon a time roamed peacefully amongst us, and we lived harmoniously with them. As humans and being greedy, we use them as weapons against each other. We use the powers and the magical powers of the fairies. That's why they're not nice to us anymore.
That
We
makes sense.
used, look at King Solomon and other people. They've used the genies to do their biddings. Exactly. Humans are
Right.
savages.
Yes.
They use the genies to do their biddings. Like, go fetch me that gold. Go fetch me this. Go fetch me that. Who are you to say that?
Right. Right.
Yes, the genies, or if you want to call them genies, or if you want to call them the fallen angels, do you want to call them the 72? Because they are in the religion, the Catholic religion, they are the 72 demons in King Solomon's and into the Bible, right? In the Christian Bible. You can call them that. You can call them genies in the Quran. It's all the same thing. So
Right.
we used their abilities. We used the power. They try to help us to do the bidding. They did for us to do our biddings, and we trapped them. We sent them away. We destroyed their temples, and I'm talking about the gods. I'm talking about the gods of Egypt. I'm talking about the gods of the great gods, like the rise of the phoenix. That Rosie has the name. The phoenix is considered
Right.
one of the 72 demons in the Christian religion. Why? The phoenix is a bird,
Right.
it's in the religion of
It's a
the
beautiful thing.
Chinese. The Chinese, the
Right.
Greeks believed in the phoenix. Why all of a sudden it became evil? Because it gave us knowledge. And the Christians want us to be in the Dark Ages. I'm not against the Christians. I was brought up in a Greek Orthodox place, but the fact that the books are written and rewritten by man over and pages taken out, then new ones put in to their own way of putting it in there. No, I don't accept it.
Oh, we don't either, Catherine. And we have done so many shows on, in fact, we were probably on a month and we got booted off of YouTube. And we're pretty sure that it was because we were talking about the Bible.
We said Jesus was a witch.
We
It
said
caused
Jesus was
problems.
I
I mean, if
mean,
he was here today, what would you call him?
he would be a witch.
I wouldn't call him a witch, but I would call him a man with all knowledge, because he knew every
Something.
knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
He knew how
Right.
to heal. He knew how to heal. He knew how to do an exorcism. He left from the age of 13. He was taken from the age of 13 up to 30. Why? We don't know where he went,
Right.
what he did, but we do know where he went. He went to all these places. He went to Tibet. He went to ancient Greece. He learned every religion and every magic part of everything to be able to perform those miracles.
Right.
I had a friend, he was Jewish. The Jews don't believe as Jesus being a the Messiah. They still believe that the Messiah is coming.
Right.
He told me a little secret. He told me that every 480 years, children like Jesus are born with those abilities because he stood out because
Right.
he had those abilities more enhanced than other people. We've got those abilities. You have those abilities. I have those abilities. But Jesus' abilities were more enhanced. So
Mhm.
Right.
every 480 years, there's children like that being born. And then there's these special people that take these children and train them.
Like Merlin the Magician, the King James story, the King
Exactly.
Arthur story,
Exactly.
which since I was a kid, I've always been fascinated with that story.
Same here.
You,
Mhm.
I find it amazing. I'm so grateful. I just can't even go into words what it means to me that the universe brought you into my life because the Greek gods and all that have always been so huge to me. And you're just a wealth of knowledge about it, and I can talk to you all day about that. So I have a feeling we got a pretty big future
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up with Catherine being on the shows, and we get to pick her brain because she's amazing. um,
I'm glad I met you girls and our paths crossed through Jen. And I love you
Oh,
bunches, all of you. You're
absolutely.
great.
yeah, and we want to send a shout out to Jen here again. She was supposed to be on, and we know she did like 3 or 4 castles this weekend,
Mhm.
a couple of paranormal investigations. That girl has kicked ass. Um, I
Absolutely.
know that she had a really busy week last week and it just rolled into the weekend, so we're not going to hold her responsible. But
Yeah.
we'll have to,
We'll have to get
we'll
her
have
on
to,
another time.
Yeah, she's
maybe we'll
probably
have a
I would
ladies'
I would very
night
much be in a
again.
coma after that.
yeah, she's probably
So,
Absolutely.
sleeping, poor thing.
And
and I will say, Terry said that she was just so, the Greek gods have always been so big for her, and we really, really thought that whatever deity that was going to, work, be the one that she worked with was going to be Greek, and then that's not what happened.
well, but Gaia is one that I work with
Yes.
a lot.
But yeah, it's
That's
great.
where I find my roots.
Mhm.
Is when nothing else feels right. That's where I just go
Yep.
right back to Gaia.
But Gaia is Greek. It's
Right,
a
right,
Greek. Yeah,
right.
it's
Well, she's talking about the Morgan.
The
she's
Because
Morgan.
yeah she's it, yeah in Greek Gaia in Greek, which comes from the Greek word yeah. So
Mhm.
that's where you get the Gaia from. She birthed the Titans,
Mhm.
mm,
she was the mother of Kronos and Saturn in um and he was the father of Zeus and Hera and Poseidon and Hades. So
right.
that's your connection is.
Mhm.
But then again, all religions are exactly the same. The only thing
Oh
that
yeah.
changes is the
The
names.
names, the names, and I've said that. I've told my daughters that because, that's a whole nother story. But public school became a problem, and I pulled them out to homeschool them. It had to be under a church umbrella, so we went under a Catholic homeschool. We had to teach religion, so I wasn't going to just teach them Catholic. We looked at
Hmm.
everything. And I've always told them, if you take a little bit of truth from each one, take a little bit from each one
Exactly.
of them and put them all together, it's all the same. It's
Exactly.
Mhm.
just different wherever we live in the country, how we interpret it.
Exactly.
Or in the world, not the country.
Exactly.
Um,
I agree with you.
I think you were saying, Jess, was there some questions we were
Oh,
Mm.
Lilith,
knowing?
the first wife of Adam.
Mhm.
Oh.
It wasn't Eve.
Yeah,
See,
let's get the controversy going.
Yeah.
Here we go.
she was the first wife, she was made from the same materials apparently that Adam was made, right? But
Mhm.
she
Right.
didn't want to be suppressed from that the man, the power of the man, and that's what's been going on everywhere, all the time, even on the
Yep.
paranormal field. I'm sorry, it's a
No, you're
man's
right.
world. It's a man's
You're
world. No, it's
right.
not a fucking man's world. I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, Catherine. You're fine. You could say fucking.
You know, they put the women down everywhere in the workforce, in the paranormal field. Even the first man, which was Adam, he wanted to put Lilith down. But she thought, no, this is not happening. You either change or I'm walking out.
Yeah, but she said, out,
I'm out.
bitch.
And then she's a very strong deity. And she's not the dark deity that everybody says.
Well, I don't think really Hecate is either, or
Exactly.
the Morgan, or
Mhm.
it's all in the matter of how you look at them.
Exactly.
I mean, my other deity is Baba Yaga, she is absolutely villainized just about everywhere.
You know, the villain, they try to make them look scary, but they're not. She was fighting for her rights as a woman.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Eve was made out of his side. Come on.
Oh, I already added it down there at the bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so so they're trying to make that Eve is a woman from the beginning of time is lower than the men. No
Mhm.
offense to the men on here, okay?
It's not that we think that
Yeah,
one is
we
higher
don't
than the
think men
other.
are
We're
bad.
saying
We're
equal.
equal.
Well,
We're
exactly.
on the
We are
same
equal.
plane. Yeah, you know, treat us equal, we'll treat you equal, but don't treat me equal and look out, bitches.
Hmm.
Exactly.
We're making
So,
puppets.
and they say that she wandered off and she slept with all these demons and did this and bore
Well,
children.
good for her.
But come
Right.
on. But this is man written.
Right.
Oh,
What is the truth?
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And of
And if you
course,
see,
yeah, I was just gonna say we've had so many discussions on the man written Bible, that yeah, I'm just gonna call it as I see it. The Bible is pretty much bullshit. I'm not gonna say the
At
whole
this point,
thing.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
there's
the
actual proof that they changed out the word pedophile for homosexual in there. You know,
yeah,
during a translation.
exactly. Robin, they did this. They did say, but she stole children. Who said it in the
Men.
Bible?
right.
Man.
I don't think the women were
And
the ones that were speaking.
well, and hey, maybe she did steal children, but maybe she was
Maybe she stole
stealing
them
them from
from horrible
assholes or
homes.
pedophiles, or
Maybe she was saving them.
yeah,
So in the Bible, it was okay for Cain to sleep. All of a sudden, Adam and Eve came to earth, got cast out of Eden. They came to earth, right? So all of a sudden, it was only Adam and Eve that had children, Cain and Abel. And then women came out of nowhere on the other side of the desert for Cain and Abel. No, Cain and Abel slept with their mother. There you go.
So basically,
right,
it's not just Alabama. We're all brother cousins
It's
around
not
here.
just-
right. We're all brothers, sister, fucking cousins, and all that.
So
Yeah.
I think everybody
Um.
needs to adopt the Sweet Home Alabama song now and stop calling it.
Right. Now, if you would pop up, Wound Man's thing, because I do want to give this shout out to him. Everybody, if you've ever looked at my website, thespiritalabama.org, every word on that page was
That
written
describes how we were founded and run by women.
is that beautiful man right there.
Oh
Every
yeah.
word of it. He is just absolutely amazing. And if more men were like him, then the world would be a better place.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's
And
only a few men out there like that
oh,
believe
yeah.
that, because you know what? The same blood runs in my veins like it runs in your veins. We're equal. We have the same thoughts. We got the same strength. You can't give birth. Okay, that's something that men can't do. And they even tested on a man to be able to feel the pain of birth. That's something a woman needs to encounter and feel it. We can't do other things that they can do, but that doesn't make us lesser, or that doesn't make them lesser
Right,
than us.
right,
It's the same flesh and blood.
right, right. we're all created equal, and
Exactly.
Adam didn't give up no damn rib for no women, no woman. Y'all heard it here. His first wife was Lilith. She dumped the asshole to move on and do, but to go have sex with babies and stuff with demons now sounds like a good time to me.
Look, in every paranormal romance I've ever read, they're always having a great time. The demons and the werewolves and the vampires. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. And then demon comes from the Greek word demon, which means the one with the knowledge. So they would hand it down the knowledge to us. That's the missing link. Then we go into another story with the fallen angels or the aliens, where they interacted with us. And then we've got the Anunnaki. That's another show we can do.
Right. So yeah, we are about 5 minutes. So let's wrap it up. And again, we thank you. We just love you so much already, and I can't wait to the future of getting to know you better.
I love you too,
Um,
girls, and thank you very much for having me.
Yes. I
so
do want
let's
to interject
plug
and say
all the
that my cat's
places.
name is Lilith after Lilith, and it fits very well.
So let's plug all the places that we can find Catherine, whether you want them to find you, Catherine.
Yep, I've got no problem.
And I did in the comments share the link to her Oracle Whispers page. So, and
Yeah,
where else can
Sam.
they find you? You said Daughters of Hecate.
Daughters of Hecate, that's our group and our page. They can find me as Catherine Cyrillus. And on Oracle Whispers by Catherine Cyrillus. So you can find me anywhere. Or just ask the girls.
Right. And y'all have seen the wonderful Wayne Galwell in the comments here. He will be on Ask Madam tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Am I right about that, Robin? Plug it. 7 p.m. on Skeleton Key Network on Tell
Temple of
Them
the
Rosie.
Phoenix Rising.
Temple of the Phoenix Rising, and the Things Network. We are back on Things tonight for the first time in a few months. Took a little break. Now we're back, and we're so happy. So we want to send that
Absolutely.
shout out to those people. It feels like coming home to grandma's house. I told them earlier. So we're glad to be back on Things. Robin, do you run on a YouTube channel? I'm trying
She
to
does.
plug all the places.
She runs on her Madam Mayhem YouTube channel.
Okay. So yeah, we're trying to plug all the way. She's 7 p.m. tomorrow night, and it'll be with Wayne Galwell. If y'all have not seen him yet, he is just as fabulous as Catherine, and I
Just as
believe
fascinating too.
just as fascinating. I believe he's going to be on our show too next week.
I don't have the schedule up, but I believe it is. I think it's Friday.
I think he's going to do the daytime show. And we'll definitely be having Catherine back as many times as she'll come back.
Yeah, as many times as she'll put up.
I enjoy our conversations, girls. I do.
Oh, Robin will not be on. Well, Robin, we'll get you worked out. I think we can help you get more places. So we'll talk about that later. And Wound Man is saying thanks for everything.
Thank
on
you.
The web. He's talking about on the website. He'll make sure to have a nice big announcement on there for you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, this week, Wound Man, it's all been really, really crazy and up in the air, and everybody has just been kind of run rampant. I was sick, so of course you know about the thing we did at the thing in class. Then I did a thing with Catherine on Wednesday, and so we've all just
exhausting, and the days are running together.
Yep.
Right, we don't know where we are, who we are, what we're doing. So yeah, we thank you for staying up so late with us because we know you've got a lot going on too.
Well, I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep in tomorrow. So
same. So yeah, everybody check out all the shows on all the networks. You can find them tagged on any of our pages.
Everybody will find something that they like.
Yeah, you go find something that you like with all the networks that are running. Again, Catherine, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And Jess, you know what you do now.
We end with a one-liner, and I still say the rest of the world would call Jesus a witch.